The Birds is about, for me, it's just another opportunity to look at understanding the perceptions around ours. And so the meaning of ours to some can mean possession, and to others it means community. And so it's another chance to think about community over possession. What stood out to me the most about reading the play was that it feels like you're in conversation with the playwright. She's embedded a lot of additional information, footnotes, kind of asides, embedded kind of joking language to bring you into her world, into the sense of humor, into the understanding, the deeper understanding behind some of the words or the meaning of the play or what she's trying to do. And so it really does feel more so than other plays I've read that it feels like the playwright is there with you when you're reading it. And that really stands out to me in a beautiful way. The idea behind the costume design for this was, it came from the director. She said that they were in human form, that these are birds in human form. And so I started thinking about what that would mean to have that memory of adornment and of plumage, and how a bird might dress differently than somebody who has grown up being socially conditioned in a body, in a human body. And so I've chosen to dress the birds with that memory of adornment, that memory of plumage, and also not being afraid of color, pattern, print, textiles, and all the different textures that come with that. I've also intentionally chosen natural fibers for all of them. And so I'm staying away from synthetics and plastic-based fabrics as much as possible. All of the materials that were purchased for the build of this show came from thrift stores and secondhand locations. And so it is truly a journey in thinking about renewable and non-extractive process with regards to costuming through kind of a more conscious lens, because we are also telling the story of nature. We're telling the story of survival and what it means to live with intentionality away from a colonized society, which is also a capitalist society. A lot of thought was given to the additional characters that come into the space. So we've got a priest and an agent and a lawyer, all these additional characters that come in. And what do they mean to this world? And how do we know that because of what that means to the world we live in as well? And how does that relate to outside of the play? And so as much fun as it was to think about and to create and to adorn the birds, some real thought needed to go into these other characters that are there with intention, what they mean, and I'm hopeful that the audience will think about that in their own worlds, in their own lives, in the way that they present when they're visitors to others' communities, or welcoming communities in, and what does it mean to believe that as an outsider that you have a better view and perspective than the people living in that community. And so I know a lot of value is given to hiring consultants and outside observers and all this kind of stuff, but that same time and thought, intention, and resources were given to the communities themselves. We might do more good than the harm that we get when we invite that outsider perspective in. And what does it mean to be an outsider?